So now a little bit of a tip on tarps. The best thing you can do with tarps is get yourself a goat, because goats it would appear love tarps. But that aside, that aside, a lot of you will have seen me use advance and retreat, where I've just asked a horse to try and then retreat off it, retry and retreat away. So that is the basic concept, of course. Some may have even seen me go sideways around it with horses until they've looked forwards and then released there, and that can work for some. There's lots of different ways to approach it, and it does seem that not every way is as effective for every horse. So I just thought I'd give you a couple of slightly different ways that you may not have seen us do before. I can't show you a very realistic situation because I'm using one of my own horses and we've worked on this before, so it's not going to look very realistic. But let's just say we have a typical situation. A typical horse should not walk over that. Okay, they shouldn't just bowl up and just wander over it. If they do, you know, they don't have very high self-preservation. So they should go up and go, oh, hang on, I don't know about that. Let's not do that. I'm a little worried, a little skeptical about it. So one thing we can do is send them between it and a rail. Okay, and I've done this with a lot of other things as well, other than tarps. I've even done it with poles, with horses that couldn't walk over a pole, believe it or not. This might be slightly goat assisted. So the concept's very simple, so that's all we really want to do today, is I send my horse who's terrified of the tarp, or thinks he might be, between the tarp and the rail. Yeah, that's it, Max, you're terrified of the tarp, right? So it's just a regular forward and through. Yeah, I don't know, it's not about tarp, mate. Just go through here. All right, so we get them coming through here. When they look confident with this gap, then we simply make it closer. Send them through. Relax, pause, send them back. Okay, fair enough. We have a goat. And then closer and closer and closer until it is so close that they'll have 1 foot on, 1 foot off, that type of situation. But you don't want to get to that situation until they're very confident. Okay, so you want to get them really confident so that when you get to that point, they are basically already confident. They've already found the answer and the release is over there. And when you send them this way, the answer and the release is over there. So that's going to help because their understanding is greater. There's a release over there. There's a good thing over there. Now it's just about how we're going to do it. Through the skinny thing, narrow thing, narrow thing, narrow thing. And then pretty quick, you'll have them making a little attempt there. Now, I'm going to reset this and show you another way. Tarp introduction, take 2. So this time what we've done is we've simply folded it up, and you could fold this up to where it's no wider than a pole or a post. Providing your horse goes over poles and posts, then that could work out for you. We've secured it. If I'm introducing a tarp, I don't want to introduce it on a day when it's windy and have it flap all at the wrong time. Seriously, do we have to do that? Okay, entertainment here. So we're going to make it a lesser challenge. Excuse me, my friend. So Max will come over here, and of course Max has done tarps before, but he comes over. Yes, believe it or not, Max, we want you to go over. Yep, I know. Just pretend. There we go. Okay, so they go over. Some will leap over it. Okay, now if they leap over it, generally not going to work so well. You want them to step over it. There you go. And you might repeat that several times with a lot of pause either side before you widen it up. And you widen it up and widen it up and widen it up. And there are some horses this isn't the best approach. There are some horses actually works better if it's wider and you take the narrow gap and things like that. And there are others this works just fine for. So it's always good to have different tools in your toolbox. And I've done both before as well, where I've got it starting off really narrow and actually sent them between it. Go backs, go, yippee. So they've gone between the thin thing because they weren't confident enough to go over it. And then we've done this back again. And then finally we could make it closer and closer, and then they were confident enough to go over the thin thing. and then we made it wider and wider and wider and wider. And pretty quick, they know that's the answer, so they're a little more confident already, and then pretty quick they've got a foot on it. Okay, so just another way, another little variation of a theme there for you.